Hey there, I hope you're doing well. My name is Arya and today we're going to look at some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy Reddit stories, consider liking, subscribing, and maybe hitting that notification bell too. Let's get started with today's first story. Much love, everyone. Today's first story comes from I pay my husband's ex-wife's child support. She takes me to court. My husband Ben 36 and his ex-wife Kate 34 share 2 kids, both teens split custody, 50-50, no monthly child support, but Ben pays all insurance med costs extracurriculars and had to put $150 each in a college fund. Each month I have a teen daughter, myself Ben made a base income, but got bonuses and commissions on commission checks. He would send Kate 50 of it on bonuses. He would send Kate 35. This was not court-ordered, but very regular. Well, Ben was in a wreck. Couldn't work 5 months, got fired. Legal called lawyer, took 3 months to find another job that could cater to his new disabilities, but took a huge pay cut and no more bonuses and commission. I paid all bills plus his child obligations, even the average sum of what he sent K extra per month during this time after realizing his pay wouldn't recover. We talked to Kate and told her we can no longer afford to send her extra as we weren't making it. She seemed to understand. During this time period my child turned 16 and saved up $4,000 for a car. I've always promised to match whatever they save. This money was already put away. We got a car for $6,000. My kid pays her own insurance and gas. Ben's teen daughter saw and somehow got Kate to lease a car. In fairness, Kate didn't consult us about it the next month. She hits us up for money. After some discussion she assumed we figured out the money after seeing us buy my daughter a car. We explained that's not the case, but she got so angry cursing us and ended up taking us to court for child support. The court determined that Kate makes significantly more than Ben and she needs to pay $300 a month in child support for him and reimburse insurance. His past income didn't matter since he's now considered disabled. It's been about 3 months since and Kate's entire family is blowing us up, telling us how horrible and evil we are, that Kate is being threatened with eviction and Ben's daughter's car is being repoed. They say it's my fault, because Kate only leased it, since she expected us to keep paying, that her paying child support means she can't afford a rent, and I'm spoiling my daughter playing favorites. Kay also says that my income plays a role since the kids live with me 50 of the time, so I'm horrible to deprive the kids. This makes me feel horrible. Am I the idiot here? I could pay, but I wouldn't be able to save, since I'm paying more since Ben makes way less. Not the idiot. Spouses have nothing to do with the financial responsibility of a child. The bio parents are responsible for child support point blank, and it's her own damn fault for assuming anything. Honestly, your husband was more than generous before the accident. Like really, had it been me, my ex wouldn't have seen any of my bonus or commissions. She screwed herself in taking you all to court. She made a bed, let her lay in it. She sounds very greedy and entitled to me, and you all are doing 50-50. She's lucky she saw anything. I'm honestly shocked. Exactly any bonus or commission extras I'd be putting into a college or savings account or directly buying things the kids needed, e.g. nicer upgrades for things they need for a sport or hobby. I wouldn't have just handed it over directly to the ex. I hope that the extras were documented for when they went to court. Kate was foolish and greedy. She's now paying the consequences. This is also none of Kate's family business too. They don't get a vote. Block them. I just love the fact that Kate was cursing you and taking Ben to court, and yet she gets stuck paying child support. Wow. Nothing like Schadenfreude. Disconnect your guilt button. You have nothing to feel guilty about or horrible about. Kate brought this on herself. You should not have to suffer. Honestly, OP should tell Kate's family that, if they're so concerned, then they can help Kate out financially, then block them. Hello, well, Kate makes significantly more money and somehow can't support fewer people. She's asking the one who makes significantly less to support her. No, she just wants to live above her means. Karma bit her, but when she was greedy. A male teen recently got my twin sister expelled from school after reporting her for the bullying she did. I don't think I did anything wrong and my grandpa 72 milliliters is on my side, but parents both 40 think I betrayed my sister. My sister has never been the nicest person. She got in trouble for bullying in elementary school and earlier in middle school has gotten detention on ISS before, but this is the worst punishment she's gotten so far. She can be mean to our siblings and cousins too. If she wants to, we're in 8th grade now. A few weeks ago, I was playing basketball outside during lunch, which were allowed to do me, and my friends were having a good time when we saw a boy crying on the grass. Me and my friends went to see what was wrong. This boy was telling us about how he was bullied by a group of kids for being preppy, post skincare routines on TikTok, Starbucks, iced coffee, generally seen as a more feminine male aesthetic. Kids were calling him gay and slur. When he's not gay, we told him. We thought he was cool. He started discussing skincare and fashion with us. We don't know much about it, so me and my friends were trying to talk about Nike and stuff about fashion. We did know mostly sports stuff and he actually knew quite a bit about it. Said he started taking courses at a local college about fashion history. He's also same age like us. After we calmed him down, we asked if he wanted to play ball with us, and we were amazed at how good he was. He said he's not really into sports, but he was so naturally good, had us playing our hardest and scored against a few of us when playing in teams. If you are enthusiastic about this narrative, please inform us. If you found the video enjoyable, please press A. If you do not have the desired option, please press B. Your feedback serves as a great source of inspiration for me to collect more uplifting and profound stories. We encouraged him to potentially try out for the team in high school, and he said he'd consider it. Over the few weeks we've started to hang out with him more and more. We were at the park playing with him and he dropped his phone. One of my friends picked it up and unintentionally opened up the messages on Instagram. Since he got notification for it, he saw someone text him awful stuff. The boy noticed my sister was one of the kids sending him the messages. We told him it wasn't okay and that we go to AP with him. My sister and her friends were called into the office and they all got into a bunch of trouble. It was her 3 other girls and 2 other boys, one of which is her boyfriend. My sister was the ringleader and the cruelest, so she got the harshest punishment and was expelled. My mother and father said I shouldn't have gone to AP and instead talked to them. My grandfather has a different perspective since he was involved in progressive activist groups in his teen years and college years, and while he's straight, he saw his gay friends get bullied and was horrified about what she was doing, even though it was to a straight boy. My sister is calling me an idiot, a snitch, and says she hates me. My friends are reassuring me. We did the right thing, not the idiot. I think you did your sister a long-term favor. If she never has any consequences, how will she learn if your parents always coddle those behaviors? She won't see a reason to change. Even now, it seems like she has no regard for the person she hurt. She's only mad that she's in trouble. You did the right thing. Your sister sucks and she should be punished. Betrayal. How about she learns how to be a decent human being? Sounds like she's only mad because she got caught and is in trouble. Does she show any remorse to the person she hurt? Your sister has been doing this a long time and she hasn't changed. Your parents obviously didn't solve anything from the past. So what good would it do just to tell them anyway? Stand proud for what you did. We need more people like you in the world. You didn't get sis expelled. She did. If you hadn't been there, your friends still would have asked him to join them, and sis still would have been caught. Your parents, protecting her from the consequences of her actions, will make her worse. Also, huge props to you and your friends for not only talking to him but including him in your group, even though he has different interests. Not everyone at your age would do that, and your grandpa sounds like an amazing person and the best role model. I, 25 female, have 4 older siblings. Seeing my parents regret having kids and struggle financially and physically, I realized a young age I didn't want children. I love kids and spoiling my nieces and nephews is what keeps me alive, but I've never wanted any. On my own, I worked my whole life set on the one career, so why would I give it up for 18 years of regret? My husband doesn't want kids either, but he too loves our nieces and nephews. Well, my mother-in-law is a strong believer of man being the breadwinner and woman being a stay-at-home mother and housewife. She's very old-fashioned, and so is my husband's sister. My mother-in-law doesn't have any respect for me after finding out that I won't be having kids every time I see her. She makes comments like, "At your age, I already had kids," or "What are you even doing with your life with no kids?" It annoys me, but my husband says to just ignore it, and we only have to see her at family events now. Here comes the bad part. My father-in-law never wanted kids, but mother-in-law baby trapped him, and when my husband was 10, they divorced. Mother-in-law was depressed for a very long time and is still in love with him. The other day me and my husband were invited to a small family get-together and, of course, we went. Everything went well and I was happy. I picked up my husband's cousin and started playing with her mother-in-law. Noticing this, I came towards me and said, "See, isn't it easy? Now you just have to have your own kids and do this. I mean, what else could you possibly be doing in your life? Stop slacking off." This annoyed me in the moment. I just said, "Oh, I don't want kids." Hey, kind of like father-in-law's name. Who knows, maybe my marriage will work out, unlike yours, because you're too selfish to take other people's feelings and wants into account. Mother-in-law stood there, absolutely dumbfounded. Before bursting into tears, everyone immediately rushed over, and when mother-in-law told them, some laughed and some were mad. I felt so awful. I wished I'd never said it. My husband dragged me to the car and said that, although she had it coming, I could have found something else to say. Instead of absolutely tearing into her like that, I've received a few messages saying the same thing, but mostly calling me a messed up idiot. So am I not the idiot that was long overdue? And if your husband had handled his mom sooner and not let it go on for so long, it all could have been avoided. Just ignore it is the biggest cop-out from husband. I feel like a lot of bad situations on here could be avoided if someone really handled things sooner before the ultimate burst. Many times, my husband would say if that were me, it would never even have gotten to that point, but I also get it. It's hard for people to really put up and enforce their boundaries, especially in a strong, assertive yet respectful way. Took me many years, not the idiop. It's always the worst when people who constantly degrade and belittle others are absolutely beside themselves. When someone has the audacity to be honest with them, she was counting on you never saying anything to challenge her. Well, color her surprised. What family don't realize is that she's been bleeding you with 1,000 cuts and you finally retaliated with a club to the face. You've probably taken more damage and suffered more pain, but that kind of blunt force trauma is more visible. That's why they think you're worse. The wife and I don't want kids, and according to someone I appear vaguely menacing when I tell people off sick. Burn. I'm 19, female, a current college freshman, and I'm part of a student committee that reaches out to incoming students to help them transition into the school for low-income students defined as kids who will be on 100 financial aid when they come here. We're supposed to ask if they want to be a part of special programs for low-income kids. A lot of programs exist to help them when they arrive. I met with an incoming student, 18, male, whose family income is around $65,000 a year. The cutoff for full financial aid at our school is an income of $70,000, and students with family incomes of up to around $200,000 typically get some percentage of aid. As one of the students on 100 aid, he's marked as low income and will be in the most economically disadvantaged 20 of students. Here, I was supposed to ask if he wants to be considered for special low-income tutoring programs, low-income social organizations, and other programs for disadvantaged kids. Our school offers a lot since low-income kids usually struggle the most with their grades and getting involved when they arrive. The kid became very upset and started saying he's not low-income or disadvantaged, and his parents have good jobs. He was extremely offended. I wasn't trained on what to say in such an instance, and it was awkward, so I just had to be like, "Well, your profile right here says you are," and he was mad. He was super upset when the meeting ended, which was counterproductive. Not the idiot, but your school couldn't have named it any better. Hey, do you want to sign up for Poor Kid Help? You want government cheese, you poor bastard, or hey? We got stuff for poor people like you, poverty my poor face. I was 100 on financial aid and no one referred to me as low income ever. Hello. Well, seriously, though, this will be a lesson for Op, albeit a tough one. The way Op put it to that young man was so offensive. I also didn't care for the implication that kids from poorer households don't do as well in school. That's stereotyping at its finest and so freaking untrue. In my opinion, regardless of what will inevitably be quoted from statistics by someone here in the comments, I came from a very poor household, a daughter of a single mother who was a waitress her whole life, and I got straight A's, graduated with high honors, and did very well for myself without all the extras for poor people. You get what you work for. Sorry, you are the idiot, no idiots here. You were just doing your job. He has every right to be upset. It's interesting, because I wouldn't consider someone making $65,000 a year low income. Some Googling is showing me that 54% of families in the US in 1920 had an income of less than $75,000. So you're roughly saying half the country is low income. I can understand why I'd be offended. I female 25 live with my roommate female 27. I'd say that we're fairly good friends, but not especially close. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, my roommate's mom passed away unexpectedly. My roommate was understandably devastated. She flew home for a few days, but she's mostly been staying at our place. She asked for fewer shifts at her job, so she only goes in for a few hours. 3 days a week. She used to be full-time when she's not at work. She lays in bed or calls her dad. I feel so awful for her without asking. I took over almost all of the household duties. I've been cooking, her meals, cleaning, the whole house, etc. I even offered to clean her bathroom. We don't share one, and she took me up on it earlier this week. She was sitting on the couch reading a book, and I asked her if she would give me her rent money, so I could give it to our landlord. She said, "You want me to pay rent after my mom just died? That's kind of mean." She said that she hasn't been working much, so she can't really afford rent anyway. I don't blame her at all for not working much because she's obviously going through a difficult time. I'm a grad student, so I don't have much money. I technically have enough money to pay for our rent this month, but I would have to dip into my small savings account, and I really don't want to do that. Also, I'm nervous about setting a precedent where she thinks it's okay for me to pay all of our rent and utilities. Our rent was due on the 1st, but I asked our landlord for a 2-week extension and he was willing to be flexible. So now our rent is due on the 14th. My roommate still keeps insisting that I should cover it because she's grieving, but I keep pushing back and insisting that she pay her part. She called me an idiot, and our mutual friend also said I should just suck it up and pay her part. So am I the idiot for not paying her rent? Not the idiot at all. Sure, she's upset, but she needs to pitch in with the rent as long as she's staying. You've been kind to her by doing all the extra chores. But she owes you the rent money, and as harsh as it sounds, she doesn't get to wiggle out of it because of her personal problems. You don't magically have more money just because her mom died. Make dipping into your savings the absolute last option, and definitely don't offer it to her as a solution. You will need that money if this living situation falls apart. Opie, if she thinks she should be exempt from paying rent because her mother died, then she can take that up with your landlord. Of course she won't do that, though, because she knows that's ridiculous. I'm going to turn this one over to you. What do you make of this situation? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, support, and time mean the world to me. So, thank you so much for being part of this. I really appreciate your time. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.